Well, it's schematics. We'll wait for the chairman of the subcommittee, Senator Angara, to decide how we will call it when we adopt this, or whenever we adopt this resolution. But it's the same. I don't understand. People are expecting us to meet in one place. Why? Dahil magsisigaw, magsusuntukan kami. Hindi naman, pwede naman namin gawin yan dito. Pwede nila gawin yan doon. What's important there is the 3/4 vote. Voting separately. That is what's important because it's a bicameral form of government. Yan ang pinakamalaga dyan. Na boboto kami, 3/4. Boboto sila, 3/4. Pag hindi po kami naka 3/4, wala nang usapin ng charter change. Ganun na yun.
And sir,
The proposal subject of the People's Initiative could have led, or could lead, rather, to a constitutional crisis, destabilizing our bicameralism and upsetting the systems of checks and balances. While the Senate is vehemently opposed to a dilution of its participation in the task of reviewing the Constitution, we exercised all restraint because in any conflict, it is always the people who stand to suffer the most. For this reason, I, together with the leadership, Senate President Pro Temp Loren Legarda, met with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and the leadership of the House of Representatives on January 11 before Divan de Honor in order to raise concerns on the proposed amendment contained in the People's Initiative. The President agreed with us that the proposal was too divisive and asked the Senate to instead take the lead in reviewing the economic provisions of the Constitution. In this way, we can preserve our bicameral nature of legislation. While the Constitution must be reviewed in keeping with the demands of the present and possibilities of the future, we believe that we must first exhaust all avenues open to us through policy making and legislation. That is precisely what the Senate did when we enacted amendments to the Public Services Act and liberalized many industries to attract foreign investments, encourage competition, and improve the delivery of basic services to our countrymen. The Senate stands firm behind the Public Services Act as a landmark piece of legislation that reforms our economic landscape. We, however, and I'd like to repeat, we, however, recognize that the case assailing the Constitution of Republic Act number 11659 or the amendments to the Public Services Act is currently pending before the Supreme Court. As such, the Senate commits that it will work with the House of Representatives to remove all doubts on the constitutionality of the law by ensuring that the liberalized policies contained in the Public Services Act can be implemented and relied on by investors as an enduring policy. It is only in this respect the Senate can agree to modify the Constitution. The framers of the Constitution deliberately ensured that modifying it will be an arduous process, never to be taken lightly. We wish to assure the people that in reviewing the economic provisions of the Constitution, we will be circumspect. We are guided by the knowledge that our sovereign is watching and that the work we should do represents no interest other than the people's interest. So that is my statement, ladies and gentlemen, of our friends in the media and the people watching us in live in the TV and radio as well as social media. Yes, my
Agreement mula kay Speaker na pag natapos nyo dito yung version ng inamend na Constitution, i-adapt na lang nila. Pumayag siya doon, sir.
sa harap ng Pangulo, sabi niya, okay. I don't know what he'll say. Best is you ask him, but best is you ask him. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
But in front of PBBM, he said okay sa adoption, sir.
I'd rather that you ask him. I don't want to put words in his mouth and he'll deny saying that. Siguro tanungin nyo na lang siya. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Pero we were happy, yung kalalabasan ng meeting na yan, happy po yung side ng Senado.
Sir, tama po ba? You will meet again with Speaker after this? Or in
Well,
the
he's
coming
waiting
days?
for my statement. So I've given my statement today. Hinihintay niya lang yung statement ko bago siya mag-statement. So I'll wait for his statement as well.
Sir, balita ko, yung meeting was initiated by you with the President and the Speaker?
The second meeting was initiated by the President. Sabi niya, magkita tayo Thursday.
Yung first meeting, ikaw?
Yung first meeting ako, kasi I wanted to seek guidance. Ano ba ito? Ano ba tong EI na to?
And what was yung content, yung pwede lang namin alamin, nung first meeting that he...
Yung tayo-tayo lang? Yung hindi tayo live?
Oo. yung content ng first meeting that the President see the need to...
No, he was concerned. He was concerned. On the first meeting we had, concerned si Pangulo kung saan patungo ito. Concerned siya. But I can't give the details kasi it was privileged information. Nandun kami sa bahay niya eh. So,
Second, tinawag din para mas madami.
sabi niya para maayos na natin itong gusot na ito. In fairness to the President, he's trying to find ways na hindi madagdagan ang gusot ng pagtakbo ng ating pamahalaan para sa ating taong bayan. So, he was just trying to find ways na hindi magkakagulo. Imagine if everyday toxic masyado yung mga salita namin sa news, mga tao. Of course, it will look like a divided nation. If every day in the news, nagsisigawan, nagmumurahan po tayo dyan. So, even investors would be afraid to come in.
Sir,
Wait, si ano muna? Nauna po si Marlon. Okay.
SP, previously you were very adamant in your position against Judge. Anong deal changer this time?
I was never adamant. But let's put this on the record. I've said it many times. There is a need to amend certain provisions of the Constitution. But I've said that possibly now is not the time because of the important matters at hand. But after meeting the economic teams and the business groups they're saying that their biggest concern nga is dahil sa kaso sa Supreme Court na hindi pa natatapos with finality, natatakot pa rin sila pumasok dito. Bigyan ko kayo ng halimbawa. You're a company who wants to deal with telecommunications. Under the PSA, pwede na po yan 100% owned. Pumasok sila dito, bilhin nila yung PLDT for example, yung mga magagaling na kumpanya, let's say yung sa Japan, yung magandang company dyan, yung Docomo ba yan, ganun, pasok sila dito. And they give us 100% service. Happy lahat ng tao. They spend billions of dollars. Tapos sabihin ng Supreme Court, unconstitutional. You have to just have only 40%. You have to sell 60%. Eh, sino ba naman hindi masisiraan ng ulo dyan? So, any businessman would not want to put up major infrastructure here and investments if that is that is the pending case, or there is a pending case in the Supreme Court.
SP was the President's position against foreign land ownership made it more acceptable to you than Judge?
Oo, kasi definitely kung nilagay natin yung land ownership dyan, pati kaya dito sa Senado, wala tayong makukuhan. Siguro, iilan lang papabor, baka dalawa lang, o baka wala. Wala pa akong nakakausap dito na pabor sila sa land ownership ng dayuhan. Kasi, alam mo naman sinong bibili lang nandyan. Kung hindi, yung ating mga kapitbahay na nang gustong manggulo dito, tapos yan ang mangyayari dyan. Tapos, yung ating mga kababayan, nangyayari na nga yan na yun eh. Diba? Dahil sa mga pogo and all that na hindi na po ma-afford na ating mga kababayan, mga condominiums dito sa... tanungin nyo lang mga Senate staffers natin dito. Hindi na sila maka-arkila ng apartment dito sa area na to, sa Pasay, dahil sobrang mahal. Pupunta na, talagang abot na sila ng Cavite. Because of course, it's being rented by foreigners. So, I would suggest talaga na we do not include that in the in the amendments to the Constitution. That will be very difficult for everyone.
Sir, may pinag-usapan na po ba kayong
Never.
timeline para dito, sir, sa review ng economic provisions? Like, may target date na ho ba? Kasi may sinasabi rin na possibly, dapat sa SONA ni Presidente, mai-report na niya ito.
Well, napakasimple lang naman ng amendments na to. I don't see any problem finishing it this quarter before the Holy Week break. I don't see any problem. Kasi tatatlo lang naman yung, tapos napakasimple. It's otherwise, it's not specific. It's specific, but we only put the amendment unless otherwise provided for by law. So gagawa pa kami ng batas. You understand? Ito kasi ito, babanggit ito. Yung sa Public Services Act, para maging constitutional na po yung national patrimony and economy. That is under Section 11 of Article 12. Section 11, lalagyan lang namin ng linya unless otherwise provided for by law. Meron na tayong Public Services Act. That's the law. So that will now constitutionalize the Public Services Act.
Pero sir, can you do that without converting Congress into a constituent assembly, sir? Sir, kasi amendment din po yan sa Constitution, yung adding that phrase po na unless otherwise provided by
After
law.
discussing with several legal luminaries, it can be done. It's just a name. What's the Constituent Assembly, our hearings and our voting here will just be, it's like a separate assembly. They have one there, we have one here. Does it say that we really have to meet?
SP.
So sir, ibig
Say
sabihin,
ba in the Constitution that we have to meet all together?
Pero
Hindi naman, di ba?
voting
Saan
step,
kami mag-meet sa Club Filipino?
pero ibig sabihin sir, gagawa kayo ng batas saying na dadagdagan ng unless otherwise provided by law ang Constitution, sir?
Yes.
Yung ganung provisions?
Yes.
SP.
We'll see it because we're filing this right now after our press conference.
SP, sorry, with your respect po.
Oh, Marlon.
Kasi dun sa charter natin, very specific yung boboto modifying. Talaga nakalagay doon, con as, or PI. By doing this, na parang ang dating sa amin, ganun lang kasimple, di sana yung mga nagdaang administration, naisip din nila na ganito lang pala kasimple.
Pero I'll tell you, Marlon, guys. So what if we meet in one house? They will be discussing economic provisions. We will be discussing economic, magtatabi-tabi kami. We will vote separately, 3/4 vote, 18 votes. They'll vote also 3/4 vote, their vote. Then we come together and that's the agreed resolution. It's the same if they do it there and we do it here. What is the difference? What is the difference? Yung sigawan ng debate, di magdebate sila doon, magdebate kami dito. So it is the same. That is the Constitution does not say we have to meet all together.
So you don't have to declare yourself as meeting separately, being a constituent assembly, sir.
Well, it's schematics. We'll wait for the chairman of the subcommittee, Senator Angara, to decide how we will call it when we adopt this, or whenever we adopt this resolution. But it's the same. I don't understand. People are expecting us to meet in one place. Why? Dahil magsisigaw, magsusuntukan kami. Hindi naman, pwede naman namin gawin yan dito. Pwede nila gawin yan doon. What's important there is the 3/4 vote, voting separately. That is what's important because it's a bicameral form of government. Yan ang pinakamalaga dyan. Na boboto kami, 3/4. Boboto sila, 3/4. Pag hindi po kami naka 3/4, wala nang usapin ng charter change. Ganun lang yun.
And sir, confident kayo, sir, na makukuha yung suporta ng 18 senators, sir, or more?
Depending on the amendments, dito sa amendments na ito, komportable po ako na makukuha natin ang boto nila.
Sir, yung timeline, sir, na sa SONA ni Presidente, pwedeng batas na po yung...
Well, hindi pa kasi dadaan pa ng, well, depende sa plebisito, magkaka-plebisito pa yan. So, we have to ask the COMELEC if they have funds for the plebiscite. Magpa-plebiscite pa yan, my dear. Anything that we discuss here and we vote on will still go to the people. So, we'll have a plebiscite kung sasang-ayon ba sila dyan.
So sir, sorry sir ha. So ang step by step, sir, is subcommittee, of course yung approval ninyo, and then yung dadagdagan na unless otherwise provided by law, plebiscite, and then you'll write the laws, sir?
Yes. Ang mangyayari, hindi na kailangan. Sa Public Services Act, nandyan na yung batas eh.
Opo, pero sir, yung sa, like sa education.
Yes, education, magpa-file pa tayo ng bill.
After, sir, na
Babalik ulit tayo sa going back to the first step to filing a bill that will allow, let's say, foreign ownership for education in the country. Dadaan ulit sa ganyang klaseng proseso.
Ayan.
Ano lang, what can you say about this ongoing signature drive na sinasabi niya involved na pera and some...
Bawal yun. Bawal yan. Any form of bribery, whether with government funds or private funds, bawal yan. And even I believe the COMELEC has said this, na kung mapatunayan nga na nagbigay ng pera, that's an illegal activity. So, bawal yun. Bawal yun.
Sir, was
I mean, I think we're all in agreement na bawal po siya.
So, naging concern din ba yun ni Presidente? So,
Ha?
sa meeting po ninyo, sir, naging concern din po niya yung report ng bayaran?
Yes.
Sa People's Initiative, sir?
Yes. Nagbanggit nga siya ng mga news agencies. Katulad nyo. Tulad mo. GMA. Ay, hindi ko na babangin. Lahat. Pinapanood niya. In fairness to the President, he watches the news. Ha?
Yes,
He
sir,
watches
because
the
we
news.
report, kasi ang
Oh,
report
TV5,
po namin, sir, yung na-report po namin kasi na may nagkakabayaran. Yun yung sinight, sir.
Oo, sinight niya yun. Sinight niya yung nangyayari sa Bicol. Sinight niya yun. So, he's concerned. He's concerned.
SP.
Sir, ay, sorry. Sir,
Ladies first or
Oo,
ladies first?
Ako muna, lady. Sir, even when it happens na kailangan nyo na nandun kayo sa scenario that you will file a petition before the COMELEC, you're going to use all these so-called bayaran, the payoff.
Well, I believe Senator Amy Marcos has filed a resolution on this issue. She's leading the Committee on Electoral Reform. So we can await their committee hearing and let's await her findings. I would like to wait for the resolution of that filed measure of the good senator from Ilocos Sur or Ilocos Norte, Senator Amy Marcos, and we'll wait for the outcome of that hearing before we can make a decision.
SP ba yung ginagawa